In my last Olight flash sale video, I talked about how I had an idea, a picture in my mind of the perfect everyday carry defensive flashlight, and that I thought Olight had maybe done some Inception style stuff and got in my brain and stole it from me. But I said that there was a couple things that I would like to see in it. Well, guess what? They made a light. I didn't tell anyone. They made a light that has one of those things, and it competes with this one for like most everyday carry features that I would prefer. But a lot of people complain that you couldn't get this one. You could only get it during that flash sale as part of a bundle. Well, now you can get it again for free, and you don't even have to pick between these. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons, why each one could be a good everyday carry light, but you don't have to pick. You can get them all together for super cheap and or free. The Olight Warrior Mini. It says right on there, everyday carry, defensive. It's kind of crazy. I lay awake at night thinking about this light and thinking about what I would change to it. And there's one important change I would make, and that is that while this as a tactical output, sorry I used the word, this is a defensive like blinding style output that you'd use to actually debuff an attacker, is great, but you have to double click to get a more suitable task light, which means if you wanted low light and light discipline, you'd have to go super bright for a second, then this little light. I think in a defensive flashlight, you should have your tactical output here, and then a separate button for low light. Look what they did. Look what these guys did. Now this is a limited edition camo one, which is kind of cool, like old school woodland camo. This one has their magnetic tail switch, and you get like 500, hard push 1500, which in any kind of lower light conditions is blinding output. It gives you a little bit that you could strike and Kubaton your way to victory with if you so desire. But the main differences between these two, and some of them are kind of important. This one is a little bit bigger, right? So when you hold it, this would be better for striking. Now, we do train with flashlight strikes, and I teach them and I advocate them, but they're like a last-ditch thing. They're to support your boxing and empty-handed skills. So a light that I like a little better that maybe is not the best striking tool is better for me. So if you'll carry one that's a little smaller, like maybe if this one was a little too big, and maybe you like this is better, but now there's a key difference. The pocket clip, you can't relocate on either of these. On this guy, it's oriented to carry with the flashlight pointing out of whatever pocket you've clipped it on. With this one, the flashlight points into whatever pocket you've clipped it on. A change I would make to either of them is that you should be able to relocate it. I don't think that's a hard ask. It does have the double pocket clip, but you wouldn't be able to do this. That's not really like a great way to carry it. There's a little too much of that sticking out. This one's meant to be carried this way, which now, check this out. Your duty light you would carry some kind of way, like everyone carries it different. Might be in a pouch, might be in a holster, might be in your pants some kind of way, I don't know. But a small light, backup light, you could make a case for either style of carry. Some people would prefer to carry it with the bezel down and pull it out like that, and then do some fine motor skills to get it in play. But I used to carry I carried 3 flashlights, believe it or not. Obviously, you probably believe that. I carried my main duty light, and then I carried 2 smaller, like what would be everyday carry lights. I carried them in my offhand pocket like that, bezel up, so that when I would reach in to take them out, I'd pull them out, and they were already oriented in my hand for use. It's a small thing, and it might seem like, I don't know, maybe it probably doesn't seem dorky or weird to you because you're watching YouTube videos about flashlights. So, it's right here. So, they have some things in common. They're related. Actually, check this out. The M1T Raider Plus is kind of related to the i3T and the i5T. Like they're in the same, they have the same grip style, the same design cues, they're related. This guy is more related to like the Baton series. He's like related to them. I'll pull out the brown one. Desert tan, so you can see the difference. They also comes in black. But now you can get a bundle which includes this one, a black one, and this thing, the mega pack. And if you get that, and that way you have lights to spare to give away, to you put one in your vest, one in your car, one in your whatever, one by your bed. You get one of these, which that's still the only way to get this light. I wonder what they're waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for the hard to hurt edition. We get one maybe in a color, something like this with one of the changes I would make, and then the last change I would make to this light to make it perfect, which I'm not going to say yet. Watch what's going to happen. Next month, they're going to have a flash sale with a light that's basically checks all the boxes. I think either of these would serve you well as an everyday carry light. If you get them now, they're 30% off on the flash sale coming up. I'll put the dates and a link down below. Also, there's a coupon code H2H. If you want to get anything that's not on sale, you get 10% off of that. Or if you're watching this later, 10% off any of these or anything from Olight with that coupon code. I think you couldn't go wrong with either of these. It'd be a personal preference. Do you like the bezel up? Do you like the bezel down? Do you like the magnetic charging switch? Are you old school and you like this little rubbery nubule? That's really decision making. Like light output wise, they're both fine. I hated this at first because I'm old school, but now I've grown to like it. The main thing that I like about this, I'm big on light discipline and light control. I have all the choices without having to change any settings. I have like low light, blinding light that I could, hurt somebody's eyes with. And then this is like that, what some places call firefly mode, extremely low light. Like if I need to look for something and not give myself away, or if I need to write in my notebook at night or something like that. This one, no muss, no fuss. You push the button, you get big mad. That's what you get. And if you want to lower it to do something, you double click, but that's not something you do under stress. So it's not a big deal. So that's like the main differences, but they fill that same role. I think this one may be a little heavier. You can go check out the specifications. Like if a couple ounces or whatever is a big deal to you, go check out the link down below where you can see all these. But let's look at, this guy is the Perrin, which this guy is interesting. That's an interesting little dude. But these guys are like brothers. The Perrins are like the cousins that the Baton's parents won't let them be alone with, right? This is the Perrin Mini, and same battery, same output, and I think all the light output's the same. The main difference, now, you might think that this is not a defensive flashlight. This is not a self-defense flashlight. Sort of it's not, but I'll make a case why it kind of is, particularly for you law enforcement officers, corrections officers, security officers, things like that, soldiers, military. You push on the side and you get that. And let's see if I get a double click. Oh, that's the turbo mode. That's crazy. Spots. And I pointed it that way. I didn't point it at my face again like last time with this guy that blinded me. One little glitch in the matrix with these. That's high. Low, medium, high, low. All right, so I want it on low. But if I double click, I get turbo. Wah! God almighty. If I turn it off from turbo, but I turn it back on, it goes to high. And then I have to change it back to low. Whereas if I leave it on low and just turn it on and off, and on and off, it stays on low. But if you ever go to turbo, it resorts back to high. I guess it thinks you must be in some shit. If you've gone turbo, if you went 1,000 lumens out of this little guy. But this isn't the coolest part. Why is this a defensive light? And it's got some other features. This is actually a kit. It's actually a headlamp kit, which is kind of cool. If you were a police officer or soldier or security officer, you put this on your uniform shirt or on your armor, this takes up very little space. It wouldn't interfere with any of your stuff, and it would give you some task lighting to either like look at what you're doing if you're, I don't know, you're doing stuff, right? And in a pinch, you could you could actually go hands-free searching, though, keep in mind, light discipline, you have to be able to know where it's at and turn it on and off. Now, I need to, real quick, because some idiot's like, yeah, right, that's why they'd shoot at you. They'd shoot at you there if you just had this light on you. Okay, let's be clear. If people are shooting at you, don't do this. But I'm just saying, like, if you needed some light and needed your hands, you could do this. But you don't even have to put it on here. It comes with a head strap with hook and loop, and you can hook and loop it on there. Or what I think would be cooler is on a helmet. Put a hook and loop patch on a helmet, and that way you can take this on and off, and when you want it on your helmet, you just put it in there, and it's built. Look, this is kind of neat. You might be a little bit outside self-defense and combatives with this, though having a light on your helmet is never a bad thing. Some people, just like before, they'll say, yeah, right, they'll shoot on you. Just because it's on there doesn't mean it has to be on, but it's nice to have options. This guy is designed to accept the pocket clip. You put the pocket clip in there. You don't have to change anything, and then it has a good bit of tension to change that. Now, obviously, if it gets bumped or whatever, it's not going to stay pointing the same direction, but you have some choice over which way to orient it, which is kind of neat. That's new to me. I'm sure it might not be new, but it's new to me. Warrior Mini and the M1T Raider are sort of in competition. I can't decide which one is the better everyday carry for me. I can't say that. I'd say they're equal generally, but you have to pick the one that's right for you. But that's what's cool about this flash sale. You don't have to pick. You can get this and this and this and this, and then a black one of these. See, look, this mega pack, right? This mega pack is $205. You get all three of the lights, plus this little guy, plus the pairing. But if you spend $199, you get the M1T Plus for free. But if you want more fitness tips, self-defense techniques, gear reviews, as well as concepts and principles that make you hard to hurt, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications.